Potomac, Maryland, the Potomac Curling Club coverage of this is the 12th draw of the 12th annual Cherry Blossom Bonspiel 2014 here in Laurel, Maryland. Our feature game is on the B sheet in the Akebono Cherry event. Team Hewer, representing the Potomac Curling Club, will be throwing the Red Stones, skipped by Laura Hewer, vice Stacy Slett. Second is, we believe, Doug Andrews. Lead is, we believe, Curtis Brooks. We're not 100% certain on their order. They'll be facing the team from Long Island, which is Walter Baguette's team. They'll be throwing the Yellowstone, skipped by Walter Baguette. The vice is Michael Ceresis. The vice is Allison Pyatt, and the lead is Nicole Mikuleski. I apologize if I've bombed those names. The teams have just begun the first end. Excuse me. Team Baguette in yellow from Long Island, as I said, had the hammer. And we are underway. The Potomac lead is getting ready to throw his second stone. As of right now, we have a Potomac stone in the top 12. And the Baguette team from Long Island has a corner guard on the left side of the sheet as we're facing it. Curtis Brooks released his second stone. I believe Laura Hewer called it for a guard, and their sweepers are working it ridiculously hard. It looks like it's going to be a pretty good, oh yeah, it's a very high guard, just maybe a foot over the hog, but it's got that stone very well buried. Walter Baguette asking his lead, who has said Nicole Mikuleski. He is asking her to draw into the house. Releasing her stone as we speak. Sweepers are not touching this at all. Starting to bend now, and it looks as though it is just going to touch, yep, it just touches the 8-foot right on the center line, fairly exposed. So as we said, this is the 12th draw of the Cherry Blossom Bonspiel. This is the Akebono Cherry event. All of these matches are loser-out matches, unfortunately. The losers of these games will be going home. On the other sheets, on sheet A, we have a game between Team Budrias and Team Mulvey. And sheet C is Kusid versus Caribia. There is no game on sheet D this draw. There was a forfeit earlier. The Kokorin team will be moving on due to a forfeit by their opponent. Something came up at the last minute. Hope everything's okay for them. But we'll be updating you on those scores as the opportunity arises. We are now looking at Allison Pyatt's first stone here in the first end. She is the second for Walter Baguette. Excuse me. Looks as though this stone's gonna, if it makes it past the hog at all, it's going to attempt to be a guard, although it looks like it's curving over a little too far. It does. It still leaves that stone exposed. And it looks as though Laura is asking her second, who, yes, we can confirm it is Doug Andrews, to take that out. Take out the stone, the yellow stone just touching in the top 8. Also, everybody, we'd like to remind you we do have a chat up. So if you have any questions or anything about any of the other games, anything going on, feel free to ask those questions, and we'll get back to them as soon as we possibly can. Doug Andrews looks like he's got the hit, and that Yellowstone is gotten pushed to the back of the house, but I don't think it was quite far enough. I actually believe that Yellowstone is still the shot stone in the back 8. It's actually behind some cover from the inside, at least. I think Baguette is still lying 1, and Hewer has the second and third stone. Walter Baguette asking for the redstone in the top 12 to be taken out by Vice Ceresis. No, I'm sorry, that's Allison Hyatt, second stone. I'm sorry. And she gets a very clean nose hit, takes that out very nicely. Teen Hewers Vice, Stacy Slett preparing to throw her first stone. Laura, I believe, asked her to take out that yellow stone that they touched earlier but didn't quite take out. The sweepers are on top of this. I think they're trying to hold the line, make sure it gets past the guard. It's definitely past the guard. And yep, it hits and rolls from our vantage point just outside the rings. Now, something we do point out, even on the overhead, our cameras are not exactly centered on the button, so it's no guarantee. It can be off a little bit. So, but right now it looks to me as though Hewer is the shot stone and Baguette has the second shot.
Snap. No line. Yes, bring it if you think it needs it. Okay, up. Now it's going to swing over anyway. Nothing you can do.
Walter Baguette asking for the next stone to be thrown to promote to curl in. Oh, that's what he curled in. I don't think that was quite what he called, but he got it in. It looks like he is shot by maybe an inch or so. It is exposed, but it's not in a very easy place to take out, because off the screen you may or may not be able to see it except in the wide shot. There is a very high guard blocking one of the turns, and the yellow stone that's currently sitting third is blocking the other turn. Doesn't look like it would be very easy to take out. And it looks like Laura Hewer is asking Stacy Slett to just do a draw to the button around the outside. Laura's putting the wire on it. It's past the guard and a little too much. It went out the back of the house. Cool, thank you. Okay, I've just been informed by somebody who very gently told me that actually it's Team Baguette. Baguette? Baguette. Baguette, like put it in a bag. Baguette, okay. And now I'm going to ask nicely for a correction of the Vice's names. I don't think I have that right either. So his second stone is coming down the ice now. And let's see what happens here. It looks like it's going to make contact with the ones up at the top of the house. What's it going to do? It just gently promotes. Baguette is sitting 1 and 2, and there is a stone from Laura Hewer's team that is third. The front of the house is very busy right now as Laura Hewer is discussing the shot. What's TJ asking? Oh, we can hear. Okay, I can be heard. Okay, good. Okay, it's good to know that I can be heard. Okay. Otherwise, I'm talking to myself, which gets really boring really fast. They're spending Laura Hewer and Stacy Slett are spending a lot of time trying to figure out what to do with this. And it looks like, judging from that broom, it looks like it's a draw. Looks like she's just saying, draw me around to the button. There's plenty of room to get to the button if they can get past the mess up front. No question there. So here comes Laura down, preparing to throw her first stone. Again, Walter Baguette has the advantage of the hammer here in the first stone. All right, Laura's releasing her first rock now. They like the line. sweepers think it's going to be about right. They're getting on it now just to finish it up. I'm not sure how much it's going to bend. Doesn't look like it's cutting yet.
Go, go, go.
Here it comes. A lot of finish at the end on this. And it doesn't actually have enough. It's actually third. Actually, it's fourth. It's the fourth shot right now. It's also very exposed. It could be used later, but it is not the shot stone by any stretch of the imagination. So, Walter Baggett is considering what he wants to do. And we will move on from there. All right, in other action, over on sheet C, I have to be honest, I'm not sure who's... The team that's yellow has gotten one in the first end. Unfortunately, I'm not 100% sure which team that is. I will try to I'll try to get that information. It's two teams that unfortunately I don't recognize the skips well enough to identify. So I will track that information down. But I do know the team of the Yellowstones is leading 1-0. All right, Walter is sitting in the hack, getting ready to throw his first stone.
Yep.
Called the line on it very quickly. The sweepers are working it. Basically, looks like he's just taking out that redstone that Laura Hewer just delivered, just to make sure it doesn't get used against him later. And he picks that out very nicely. Very nice, clean pick out. So now Walter Baggett is sitting 1 and 2. Laura Hewer does have the third shot stone. It is open. There are things she could do with it. We'll see what she's doing here. She's spending a lot of time thinking about it again. Laura is a very deliberate skip. She spends a lot of time looking at her stones in a lot of situations, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. All right, Laura Hewer throwing her second stone now, and asking again for the draw. That seems very wide to me. That does not seem like it's likely to do what she's asking it to do at all. And nope, she flipped it to the outside, went out the outside. So Walter Baggett is sitting with 1-2 right now, and with the hammer, depending on how aggressive he wants to be, he could take a shot to make an awfully big number here. I don't know if that's what he's going to do, but if he got that redstone out of there, he could put a large number up there. Judging from okay, I have incidentally just been notified that on sheet C, Kusid is in the yellow, so is up 1-0 over Team Karubia in the red. All right, Walter Baggett is preparing for his hammer here in the first end. Looks like he's just throwing a draw.
Yep. Whoa. Yes.
Or a tap, actually. I'm sorry, because the line is definitely inside.
Pull it hard.
He's trying to tap one of those two that he had
Pull it hard.
previously up enough to get the second one. I'm not sure that's doing what he wanted it to do. I don't think he threw that what he intended to do. Looks to me as though he's very clearly got two. Yep, they're confirming it now. Walter Baggett takes 2 in the first end to go up 2-0. on sheet A as well. I do not know what the score is. They haven't posted it yet. We'll give you an update on that as soon as we get an opportunity. First stone of the second way, first stone of the second end underway.
Yeah, can't believe I needed twice the ice.
I think he was looking for a guard, but it looks like it's going to be a little deep to me. It kind of looks like it's going to end up pretty much right on the button, actually. A little deep. Back 8, just nibbling back 4 foot, pretty much on the center line. Looks like Laura's looking to freeze into it. Willing to play with the small house, this end, it appears. This was asking her lead, Curtis Brooks. To set that freeze in. Stone is on the way. Sweepers are just touching it up a little bit. I think they might have wanted to get the sweeps on that a little bit earlier. The weight was good, but the line was a little over. And it is shot right now, but it's very early in the end. Yep, and Walter Baggett, is going to pick that stone out and try to roll over to be in front of his previous one, which was delivered by Nicole Mielini, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm hoping somebody will correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah! Noah, let go by.
And stone's coming through. Okay, apparently it moved a little bit more than they expected, and it went through on the outside. Basically a clean miss, unfortunately. So Laura is asking Curtis, actually judging from what she did with the broom, she's asking Curtis to guard that first stone that he threw. That's what I believe the call was. Curtis has released the stone, it is on the way. Sweepers got right on it. I think they're concerned it might not have the speed. It's past the hog, but it's not going to get much more than that. The question is, can they drag it across enough to be an effective guard? I don't think so. No, that's leaving that stone crazy exposed, just touching the center. Okay, looks like Walter is calling for the takeout. The thing he needs to guard against here is the very real possibility that he could jam the red stone onto the yellow stone in the back 4. It's not a heck of a lot of room to pick it out, but he's asking his second, Allison, to get that throw. Okay, he's saying it's very wide, although it looks to me like it's starting to come back nicely. Wow, I think that picked, because that all of a sudden started cutting a lot. That actually started out overly wide and ended up curling through the gap and freezing to his previously thrown yellow stone at the back of the 4. Something went weird with that stone. I don't know. And Laura is now asking Doug Andrews to throw the guard up. Watch this stone closely. Let's watch this and see if maybe it's just the ice has a lot of curl in this direction today. You know, looking at this stone too, it does. The ice is definitely curling from our right to our left very dramatically. Very, very dramatically. That stone came from the edge of the 12 all the way to the center line. It's got the left half of the shot stone guarded up, but it is exposed, and it appears that Walter is asking for it to get taken out again. I can't the stone came out. Again, he was saying it was very wide from the get-go, but he was saying that on the last one too, and it came over crazy. This one is heavier, starting to bend. It might be a little too late. Yep, it's not gonna get the hit. It's gonna be right next to it. So that one's also right on the tee, on the edge of the 4. Currently, the shot stone is the stone that Curtis threw, actually, with the first stone to the end. I'll say it's the second stone to the end, sitting on the button. Doug Andrews' second stone. Laura's asking to guard up again. At guard weights, there is a ton of move in this ice. Precise placement of guards is going to be really hard. Although that one actually, that probably looks like it does the job. That's got most of the shot stone covered up. Very nice stone for Doug Andrews' second. So Walter Baggett is asking his vice. I think he's trying to get things. He's still working on taking that stone out. I'm not sure what exactly what approach he's looking to do with this one. That's his problem.
Yes, please.
Okay, he's got his sweepers on. They went with a much tighter line, but it is a higher weight.
Yes.
Let's see if they can avoid the dive. If they can get past the guards, this might work. If they can get there, it's gonna just chip the guard and roll off to the edge, just outside the 12-foot over on our right. I think the shot stone is still covered. Yeah, the shot stone's definitely still covered. On the other hand, Walter's probably perfectly happy to only give Laura 1 this end. That honestly would not be a bad outcome for him. Team Hewer, Vice, Stacy Slett, throwing her first stone. Asked for a guard. The line was the middle of the 12-foot, and they're expecting it to come back to cover the shot stone pretty much right on the button. It's not diving quite as strong as some of the previous ones did, but that's actually going to work.
Golden. Maybe.
All right, Walter's moving to the other side of the house. He's looking to open up some space on the other side because he wants to try getting there from another direction. Can't really say I blame him on that. Stone is on the way. Delivery was a little unorthodox. They've got the sweepers on it. It's gonna hit a guard, but it's not. Yeah, he was hoping to clear some space. I don't think it did that. I think it really just replaced that red guard with a yellow guard and actually moved it over. That stone doesn't help. So Laura Hewer's saying, let's guard up that other side. Looks like she may be content to take her 1 and move on. And really, I'm not sure that she has any other options. Stone from Vice Stacy Slett is on its way. And it's a little bit deeper than the wall of guards that was up front. Actually, it's going to be touch the top 12. Actually, that's very effective. That stone basically is forcing Walter with his first skips rock. He's basically looking to try the draw in. He doesn't have any meaningful way to take that shot stone out, I don't think. It's buried behind a phalanx of stones. the way. He's looking for a draw, but I got to be honest, it looks way too heavy for a draw. But it's slowing down nicely, though. Maybe he knew something I didn't. He's out there and I'm in here. Sweepers are on it very hard. Actually, that stone slowed way down. Wow, coming out of his hand, I would have called that to be through the house, but it went. It just added to the line of guards. Laura Hewer is she gonna try the guard, or is she gonna try to draw a second one in? It would be a heck of a draw. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure it's there, to be honest. It might be. Guess we'll know in a minute here. She sees her shot. She's definitely calling for draw. She's expecting a lot of curve out. She's got Stacy Sledger-Weiss holding the broom out about 3 inches in from the edge of the 12 foot. Not sure if she's looking to guard the line so that Walter can't use it, or if she's trying to put a second one in. Not sure which way she's going with it. Sweepers aren't touching this a bit. It's not coming back. That stone is, unless that stone picks, that stone is not coming back. It's just staying out there on that outside line, and it actually goes right through the house, clean out of play. I don't think that was what Laura had in mind for her first stone. So what's Walter got in mind? Oh, he's trying to get tricky. And you know, honestly, this is probably the more likely shot. The draw line, both teams have taken several shots to try to pull that draw from the left in, and it hasn't been making it. So what Walter's calling is he has called an in-off. He wants to come in with a shot that's going to pick off that yellow stone just outside the 12-foot on, as you're looking at it, your left, just outside the house. And he wants the shooter to then roll in towards the button off of that. It's there. There's definitely a path if he can make the hit.
Yep.
He has released the stone. It's coming with a good speed. Boy, this has a chance. This has a chance if he makes, he's got the contact. And there it goes, and oh, that was close. Almost. He made the hit, and he was rolling in the right direction, but the angle just wasn't quite right. No harm, no foul. Doesn't hurt the situation any. All Stacy's got at this point is another shot at that draw to try to take her too. And we saw what happened on her first stone. Almost. So Laura Hewer preparing for her hammer here in the second hand. They did pull the line in several inches. Hoping it's going to curl. The sweepers are still not on it. It's not coming back yet. It's not coming back yet. It's starting to come back, but it's not gonna get there. So we're gonna end up with, we end up with Laura Hewer's team getting one. The shot that Curtis Brooks threw with his first stone to the end that, if you'd asked at the time, everybody would be like, there would have been no way that would have been around at the end, but it was. So the score is now 2-1, Walter Baggett ahead of Laura Hewer. Let's take a moment and update our other games in progress. Sheet A is still coming back in the second end. They're getting ready to throw the hammer now, I believe. Looks like it. Yep, they're throwing the hammer right now. And there's a yellow stone on the button. Lots of other stones in play. Connor Moby trying to take, Connor takes one out, definitely gets his one to tie that to, well, they're looking at the possibility of a measurement. Oh, that wasn't the hammer?
Yes. 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 Yes.
See any stones down there? No, okay, that was. Okay, so Connor got his 1 to tie that game up at 1. Mulvey versus Budrias on sheet A. On sheet B, C, the second end is complete, and that game is also tied up at 1 between Kusid and Karubia. Again, just for those of you who may be turning in late, there is no game on sheet D this draw. You may see some teams out. You may see a team throwing some stones out there. There was actually a forfeit. The Nichols team had to forfeit. The Kokorin team will be moving on, and because it was a forfeit, the coordinators are allowing them to throw some practice stones out on the sheet so that they can, get the time on the ice, which is an appropriate thing to do. So if you see action going off over in the corner of your eye, there isn't a game on tape. Okay, we're here in the third end. We are 2 stones in. We've got a yellow stone from Walter Baggett's team in the back of the 12. There is a center line guard from Laura Hewer's team, about 4 feet short of the house. Curtis Brooks throwing his second stone. Curtis's second stone didn't quite make the house, but it's now 2 guards in a line on the center. Walter asking for Nicole to draw in behind that set of guards.
Yeah, I think so. Yes, please.
Speakers are working it fairly hard.
Let it die.
Now they're up.
Die.
I don't think this is going to make the house. No, it's just going to kind of curl in and add to the morass up front. So that yellow in the back 12 is now buried completely behind a stone, and the raise isn't even there because there's another stone that gets in the way. Lots of draws. It's very early in the end. Laura asking Doug Andrews to draw in behind. Took a very wide line. Coming back. It's in the top 12, exposed though. So Walter asking Allison, his second, to just take that out. Should be fairly straightforward.
Whoa, no! Yep, you're right. He's outside.
Toss was a little outside, according to him. And unfortunately, a takeout weight, I don't think it's going to come back. Yeah, that was definitely outside. And actually, sticks in the back of the house. It's just hanging on to the back 12. It might matter later.
Yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. I think she can get it. Okay, up, right there.
Doug Andrews. Wait a minute.
Hold on for a second. Toss it out a little bit. Let it come back into the good stuff. Hold on. We got it. Whoa.
Doug Andrews throwing his second stone. Asking him to just kind of taps and promotes that previous stone up a little bit more. It's still very exposed. He rolls off to behind the cover, just on the center line, about half into the 8 foot.
Great shot.
Allison going for takeout again. Okay, that line looks much more like what he's asking for.
Let it come up.
Okay, It's gonna definitely hit. Is it gonna curve to do what he wants it to do, or is it gonna be pretty much a nose? Pretty much a nose hit. Pops the red stone out between the two yellows in the back. Very nice shot, actually. As we move on to the Vice Stones here in the third act. Trying the other side of the ice, doing some draw action over there. Looks like we're gonna be doing some tap action. Just kind of tapped into the pile up front.
Draw through here. Slides off with that, that's fine.
A lot of stones guarding that shot that's currently on the shot stone on the top of the 8. Walter Baguette asking his Vice to take out the yellow stone on the side. I think he actually he wants to work with it.
Yes, please.
He's going to use it as a route to get
Yes,
in.
please, ladies. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Get past it. Oh, he missed the draw.
You got robbed.
Just ticked. Interesting action on that at the end, honestly. That's now sitting out there on the edge of the 12 on my right-hand side as I see it. Stacy Slett drawing over on the other side of the sheet. There hasn't been much action over here on the left side of the sheet this game at all. Both skips have been very preferential towards the right side of the sheet. So it's going to be hard to know exactly what's going to happen here. The sweepers are on it. On it hard. Past the guard. Drawing in very, very nicely. Wow, that was a well-executed draw. So there are now 2 red stones. One completely in the 8-foot, one 3/4 in the 8-foot. Behind a wall of impenetrable. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 stones in front of that. Basically, if Walter wants to get inside that, he's going to have to draw on the outside line, which is what he's asking for from his Vice. With his Vice's second stone. The weight looks good. Is it going to bend enough?
Now bring it. You know.
The bend starts.
Now bring it.
Passed it off. He's inside it. That is an excellent draw. He's biting the 4. He takes overshot. There is about half a stone exposed on the outside. So Laura could take a shot at it if she wanted, but it's a tight hole, particularly on the ice like this. It seems to be moving quite a bit. Taking a look at it. That was a very, very, very well-placed draw by Team Baggett's Vice. And, yep. Laura's plan is to say, that was a nice stone, I'm going to get rid of it and do it again. So she's coming back with intent to hit. And I don't know that she's so concerned about what happens to the shooter, to be honest with you. Stone's on the way. They're not calling on it for the sweepers. Sweepers are not on it yet. I think it's going to be too wide for this weight. I don't think it's going to bend back enough. Nope, it's going to hit that yellow one up top and just turn into another guard for that shot stone that was just placed there. So Walter Baggett preparing to throw his first skips rock of this third end. Already up 2-1. Looks like he's content with that shot. He's trying to draw off on the other side. Get there from the other side. Not a bad idea. It's going to be a bit of a challenge because, like we said, they haven't thrown much out here. So, see if you can put a little Long Island magic on this. Stone's on its way. Question is it gonna bend enough? Is it gonna slow down enough? Okay, the sweepers are on it now.
Keep it coming, ladies. Keep it coming. Pulling hard. Hard.
It's got the house.
Hard.
It's got the house. It's not quite enough to become the second shot. It's maybe, again, from our vantage point, we're not official by any stretch of the imagination. But from what I can see, it looks to me as though he needs to put on 2 more inches on that to make that into the second shot. So, looks like Laura with her second stone. Just trying to figure out what she's going to do. We have an update on sheet C. The Susid team in yellow scored another 1 to go up 3-2 after 3. Second and final shot here in this third end. Looks like she's going to take another crack at the draw line. Honestly, I think with that yellow stone that was delivered by Walter Baggett a minute ago, I don't know if that draw line is still easily there, but they're going to try. They've got the broom out on the about an inch into the 12-foot on the right-hand side, left-hand side. On the way. Sweepers think it's going to be about back 8 weight. Touching it with the brooms. It's past the outside. How deep is it going to be? Is it going to be too much? It is going to be too much. That was more back 12 than back 8. Honestly, all that did was provide a backer. So I don't think freezing to that actually makes that second shot. Now it doesn't. I don't think that shot hurts anything, really. So it looks like Walter is just skating down the ice now, looking for the draw to get his 2. On its way. Sweepers got right on it. Calls him up. All it really needs is full 8. Sweepers wanted to. Or, you know, that works too, especially if that spins in. No, okay, just a tap up, that works. Yellow takes 2. Yellow takes 2, Walter Baggett. Goes up now, 4-1 after 3 ends. Actually, judging from the reactions by the rest of the team, that's apparently the plan all along. The line looked like a draw line to me, but that tap was apparently what he had in mind. Okay. Okay, we are underway with the first stone of the fourth end. Walter Baguette asking his lead, Nicole, to just throw a nice center guard. And that's pretty much a nice center guard. Laura Hewer asking Curtis Brooks to throw a corner guard over on the other side. And for those of you who may just be joining us, this is the 3 p.m. draw number 12 here at the 12th annual Cherry Blossom Bonspiel from the Potomac Curling Club in Laurel, Maryland. This is the Akamono Cherry event, the C event in the more common jargon. These teams are playing to stay alive and play in another game at later this afternoon, later this evening. Actually, they're fighting for the right to play at 10:15 tonight. We've started to reach the stage where these are basically lose and go home games from here on out, pretty much.
Looks fine to me. Maybe a little hot. Oh, yeah. Going sideways. Going sideways like that.
Walter's asking to put the second center guard up from the other side. Pretty much gets it. Freezes, has a nice 2-rock freeze on the center line. About 18 inches in front of that. And Laura Hewer asks her lead, Curtis Brooks, to put a stone behind the corner guard he put up on the first stone with his second stone. Ended up chipping off that, rolling his into it. Now it's now a 3-stone pile up in the middle on the center line, and the shooter actually rolled off. It's covering the edge of the 12-foot on the right side. Walter Hewer is saying there's a very nice trio of guards up there. Let's draw behind it. As he's asking his second, Allison Hayat, to bring her first stone in behind it. Sweepers are on it hard. It's not going to get past at this point. That stone just died. That stone just hit glue or something. So now there's a 3-stone arrowhead 18 inches in front of the house on the center, and a yellow stone about 4.5 feet in front of that on the center line. That's a lot of rock granite up front early. Laura Hewer saying, I'll have none of that. I'm going to draw around she's shooting from our right to our left. Doug Andrews throwing his first stone of this fourth end.
Where is it?
And once again, a lot from our left to our right coming home in these even ends, there is a lot of movement. Instead of a draw around, that actually turned into a tap promote. And it tapped the red stone. I mean, it tapped the red stone that was previously in that little triangle up to where it's now 3/4 of the 12-foot. So that's a pretty good tap, actually. It wasn't what she asked for, but she'll take it. Walter Baguette asking for a draw from the left to the right. It's not moving that way, and it's going to drift through the house. So basically here, halfway through the game, the read on the ice is very definitely, at least for draw weights, going the interns going from our right to our left, or your left to your right as you're seeing it on the screen right now, are swinging 6 to 8 feet, and from the other side, not so much. Doug Andrews, second stone, as we said, ended up right in that path, and it's driving in towards that phalanx in the middle, adding another stone to it. Tapping him. Actually, that stone actually may have damaged their case a little bit, because there is now
This on the outside, get them both.
there is now a hit, which Walter Baggett is asking Vice. Mickey Ceresis, I believe I'm pronouncing that right, to take the double. This should be coming at a sufficient weight. There
Yes,
shouldn't
please,
be much
ladies.
break.
Yes, please. Yes,
Front-end's
please.
on it hard.
Yes.
They're trying hard. I think he's gonna get enough. No, he just nose hits the top one. Takes it out nice and clean. It curled a little bit more than he needed it to. Over on sheet A after 3, score is Mulvey 2 and Budreas 1. As where that game is well into the 4th end. Sheet C is also in the 4th end. It's also 2-1. Kusid over Karubia. Here comes Stacy Slett's first stone. It looked like it's wide enough. It's wide enough to make it past the guards, but unfortunately I think it's got too much speed to hang around. Walter's working to sweep it out the back. No, actually he did not get it out. It's sitting full to 12 in the back of the house. And it actually cut enough at the end. It's behind the wall of guards. So it's a solid back house rock for Laura Hewer's team.
Get up. Okay, yes.
Walter asking to do some damage in front. This is gonna hit, tap, tap. Takes out the front one, spins around. Might have spun into a location to be shot. If so, not by much. And it is exposed from the inside. We haven't seen many stones coming this way off this, moving off the center line on the outturn. They're calling, yep, but she's calling for the take. Giving it about 20 inches or so of curl. Looked like she was questioning herself at the end there. She's got the sweepers on it. Took them out, called them off. Still get there. It's got the contact. How much roll? It's gonna have. It's gonna roll to T-line depth, right on the half in the 4 foot, half 4, half 8. I think it's rolled far enough. It's exposed. It is. It's exposed on the outside. It looks like Walter Baggett is just gonna. He's just going for it. He's taking it. He actually thinks looks like he thinks he can cross the face and bury his stone on the button. Okay, the 4th end just ended over on sheet C. It appears that Karubia tied the game up at 2 by taking 1. So I believe it is tied at 2 after 4 on sheet C. We'll get a confirmation on that in a minute. Yes! Walter Baggett throwing his first skips rock. He does not have hammer.
Up! Up!
He's got the hit. Is he going to cross the face to do the roll? No, it's just a nose hit. That still works, though. It takes it out. So Walter is sitting 1, just biting the 4 foot. Laura Hewer taking a look at her first shot. She also could try to cross the face.
Yes. Yes, yes.
Yeah, she's looking. She's
Yes, yes.
spending time discussing the angles
Yes, yes.
because there is a possibility if she hits it at the exact wrong angle, she can raise that yellow onto the red in the back of the house and not actually end up with a good situation.
Let's groove.
Brief equipment adjustment for Laura. Settling in the hack, preparing to throw her stone.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes. Sweep it. Up, 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 stop.
Up, down.
Looks like she flipped that on the outside. Did she even get the contact? She's got the contact, and with enough of an angle to slide Walter Stone, not actually out of play, but out of the rings. So Hewer is sitting one. Shooter rolled out also. So she's just got the one in the back. Looks like Walter Baggett is intending to take out that shot in the back. It's pretty open. It's got, actually it's completely open. There's nothing in front of it at all. So if he gets that hit, then Laura will be in a situation where she can either take her one with a draw or blank the end and move on. Down by 3, that's not a good situation for her.
Yes!
Walter Stone is on its way.
Yes, hard!
Sweepers are on it hard, pretty much just to keep the line, I think. Got the hit. He's going to roll over. Oh, that's brilliant. Oh, no, it went just too far. Oh. If that hit just stuck just a little bit more, then that would have been a situation where Laura couldn't actually take that out easily. But I think it's outside the rings. I don't think it's in. I believe it's outside. I think it might be close enough they may actually have to put a biter bar on it if it matters. Because Laura's taking a big long look at it right now just to make sure. It's not really, unless she's planning on trying to blank the end. I don't know why she's so concerned about it, to be honest. Because she could use it as a backer on a draw, or she basically has the whole house for a draw if she wants it.
Yes, yes, yes.
Looks like she's thinking about drawing to it. Basically, she's trying. Well, she's trying to decide if it's in or out. She can't tell. They cannot tell, and of course, you can't measure it until the end's over, so they don't know. My point of view, my vantage point says it's out, but again, as I've said, my camera is not centered on the ice, on the button, so I can't tell. Looks like Laura Hewer is just drawing. She's got the whole house to draw to. Plenty of weight, possibly too much. I think she's thrown it through the bend too. If this doesn't, this might go through the house. This is going through the house unless it makes contact. Yep, it is through the house. So now the question is that Yellowstone in or out? I think we're getting, they kicked it out. They kicked it out and declared a blank. Oh, wait a minute.
Yes, yes, yes.
Why
Yes.
would Red be throwing first? If that's a blank end, Red does not want to be throwing first. Red should have the hammer here. They just screwed up. That was a mistake. And I think they just realized, I think the other team just realized it. That was a blank end. Yep, I think everybody just figured it out. So they're like, hang on a sec here.
So they threw the stone by mistake. So it wasn't a biter. You said it wasn't a biter?
Even if it.
And then we just faced. Start two. I should know.
Even if it was a biter, it would have been a point for yellow, so red would have still had hammer.
Sticking out of yellow. Wrong handle. Take a hit off the red.
So there's a little bit of chaos and confusion here on sheet B as they try to figure out what they're going to do. The rule book actually says, since it was discovered before the first stone came to rest, because it was, there were people questioning it first, that they should probably just rethrow the stone.
Yeah, but then you still gotta have the hammer.
What is it, a draw or a takeout?
Is there an official in the house? Okay. They're trying to work out an equitable solution right now. I think they've got something in mind. Red, you know, the Hewer team does have the hammer. Oh, nope, they're asking for, they're getting an official.
Yes, 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 yes. Yes, yes.
They're getting somebody with knowledge to come out and tell them what the heck should we do. There'll be a brief pause.
Yes, more.
Yeah.
Consider this the halftime entertainment, folks. We'll get a marching band on the field. It'll be great. Meanwhile, over on sheet A, Connor Mulvey is preparing to throw his last stone of the fourth end. Team Udrias has the hammer. Connor Mulvey's team is up 2-1. And Connor has what looks like a stone. It's a little hard from angle too. It looks like he's got a stone right on the button. He's trying to keep it going. Okay.
Complete the end over. Give the stone back.
We've got a ruling. Okay, we're just going to reset. That stone never happened. Okay.
What?
That stone never happened.
Okay.
Welcome to the first stone of the fifth end. Take two and action.
So we had a request from the chat room while they're calling upstairs for ruling. How are the other sheets going? I didn't
Sure.
hear if you were
Okay.
completed that or not.
So how the other sheets are going? Is sheet C is tied at 2 after 4 between Kusid and Karubia. And sheet A is just getting ready to throw the hammer in the fourth end. Udrias is taking a long time with it, and honestly, I can't blame him because the situation over there is a red stone for Connor Mulvey on the button, and I think there's a path to it. I'm not dead on, so I can't tell for certain, but it is going to be very, very tight. And Connor's already up 2-1. I'm reasonably sure that Budrayas has no desire to give up a steal here. So that's the situation, TJ. And welcome to the broadcast. This gives me an opportunity to just remind anybody else who happens to be watching, if you have any questions, feel free to type them into the chat. We'll answer them as quickly as we can.
No worries, no worries.
And thank you for watching. Thank you.
When I set you up with the stone, we all had a hand in it.
All right, so back to the action here on sheet B.
Yeah, bring it up to it.
Couple stones have been thrown. There's guard, a stone in the house.
Hard, man. Hard.
That hammer over on A is in flight. Found the hole. Oh, it didn't quite find the hole. It tipped off a guard. So it appears that Connor Mulvey has stolen one. Yes. Connor Mulvey from the Potomac Run Club steals one in the fourth end to go up 3-1 over Team Budrayas, who is, I believe, from Richmond, because there's Georgia State Curling Club of Virginia, which I believe is out of Richmond.
We're lying back there. Destroy it.
Hold line, hold line.
All right.
Hold line.
Yes.
So we are now here on what is, I believe, the fifth stone. Yes, fifth stone here on sheet B. This is the fifth end. Currently, there is a
Yes, please.
Baggett stone in
Yes, please. Good
back
line.
eight,
Good line.
2 Hewer stones
Yes, please.
in the top 12, just biting, one of them just biting the 8 in front of that yellow, and one on the other side of the house. I believe currently Baguette has shot, and there's a center guard. There's actually 2 center guards now guarding the center line. Doug Andrews throwing his stone. And it is clean through the house. They're trying to take out that red and yellow that was shot, but gave it too much ice, slid through.
Try and draw it in another 10 feet, Allison. Run through that hole.
Walter Baguette asking Allison Pyatt to draw into the house towards the button.
Yeah? Over here, it's gonna get a big wacky hook on this. Yeah? Yeah? Close. Yep, yep. Jet line.
Yes, please. That's less weight.
I'm sorry.
Well, we've all had problems.
Great job.
And that shot just kind of goes into the phalanx up front.
Sorry.
Doug Andrews taking another shot at the takeout in the back. This line looks more promising unless it cuts over and pops the guard, which it's going to. What's going to happen with the roll? It's rolling to the back of the house. It actually takes. That red stone that was just delivered is actually shot now over on the left-hand stone, and actually it ended up in a beautiful position. It hits behind directly behind
Wanna
the
take
red
this one out,
stone
Michael?
up in the top 12, basically forcing Walter Baggett to ask Michael to peel the one up in the top 12. I'm sure if he got them both, he'd be happy, but it's just calling to peel the top one.
Up.
Yep,
Up.
yep, yep, yep.
Up. Up.
And what the heck happened there? Stone scraped off a guard just enough, but actually it's okay. It gets the takeout. It's sitting. It's unfortunately just replaced the one guard with the other. It's close more on the outside now, but still, that would actually be a hard shot 'cause it's out on the outer edge of the ice, and I don't know if the teams really know what to do out there. Stacy Slett throwing her first stone. Trying to go for that takeout again. It's wide open this time, but I don't think. Yes, they got it. And shooter rolls out. Approach the second vice stones.
Just draw. You just need to draw button weight. No, button weight.
Looking for actually, Walter's called for a T-line draw here. That's interesting. Basically drawing to the button behind the cover. Possibly a tap. Well, actually, he's going to end up with a tap up, most likely.
Line's nice. Four's good. Whoa. Let it finish.
Yes, please. Okay, up. Up.
Yep.
Up.
He's got the tap and taps it behind the cover, touching the 4. That's an excellent tap raise. Well played. It's a very nice shot. Not sure what Laura's got in mind here. Still not. Looks like she's calling for a draw from her vice, Stacy Slett, with her second stone. They have the hammer here in the 5th. Down 4-1. Stone's on the way. All Doug's doing is keeping it clean. Kind of pop the yellow. Oh, nice clean remove.
Right up top. You're going to hard way in now. Two is fine. Like that. Line's a little tight. Yep,
Walter
yep.
Baggett coming down for his first stone.
Whoa.
He's got the broom called for a draw from our right to our left. He's got to be looking to put it pretty much on the button behind the cover, because all there is in terms of cover is a triad of center line guards, all just barely to the left of the center line. Shots on the way. Sleepers get right on it as though they weren't thrilled with the wave.
We don't need a guard here. Take a look.
Plenty of room to get past the guards. How's that weight? It's coming in. It's not going to make the house. It's just guarded the approach from the other side. It's just guarded. Yep, it just guards the other turn, making Laura Ewer's decisions just that much harder.
Yes.
first skipstone here in the 5th end. Calling for a draw. The room is located basically in the middle of the 12-foot. Score update over in sheet C. Team Kusid got 1 in the 5th. They've been trading ones back and forth in that one. It's 3-2 after 5.
Eli, yeah.
Sweepers are working this hard, so hard, in fact, I don't think it's ever going to bend back. The stone's got to be exposed if it's in the house at all. May have overswept. Okay, it's not out of the house. It's in the back 12.
Yes, Pete. Yes. Up. Let's go this side.
Walter Baguette already sitting shot, trying to figure out what he's going to do about it with the second stone. I think he's just putting up a guard.
Hitting the
Not
shot.
sure.
rock.
I think
Let's take out shot rock and roll.
Line's fine, wait only.
it's a bit fast for a guard. Maybe he should make house.
Yeah, on its own, on its own. On its own.
I guess he's drawing. Piles the second one in. Puts himself in a situation where he could steal 2. And now, basically, Laura's options are either trying to figure out how to draw to the button. Full 4-foot would do. I don't think that's and that's exactly what she's trying to do. She's looking for a draw coming from our right to our left. She needs
Broadway. Normal way.
half 4-foot to become shot.
Three.
Stone's on the way. This is the hammer here in the 6th. I'm sorry, 5th. The hammer here in the 5th end. I don't think that's going to bend back enough to get a bite of 4. It feels like it's out in the, yeah, no, that's wide. That's out there in the edge. And Walter steals 2 to go up 6-1 after 5.
Fine, whatever you want to do. Don't need it in.
All right, here we are, starting the first stones here in the 6th end of this Akamoto Cherry event, C event competition here at the 12th annual Cherry Blossom Bonspiel, Potomac, Maryland, Potomac Curling Club. Current score, Team Baguette from Long Island Curling Club, up 6-1 over Team Hewer from Potomac.
You don't want to hit the yellow in.
Get over, yes. Yes.
Game on C is also through 5, 3-2. Rubia, Kusid over Rubia. And we're throwing the last stones on the 5th end over on sheet A. High-speed takeout. I'm not sure what's going on with it.
Fairly firm takeout.
Actually, it wasn't the last stone. I'm sorry, there's more. So So we'll update you on what's going on over in sheet A when they get through the end, which I believe they're going to the second skips rocked in.
Go! Gotta come up. Stay up, stay up. It's gotta come off the line. Come on, honey.
A nice peel out by Holder.
Yes, Boogie.
Progressing through the system.
I know, she's daylight.
Stone put up in the top 12.
This way.
It is currently shot. But it appears Walter Baggett is just going to ask that to be taken out. Basically, when you're up 6-1 in the 6th, if it's in the house, hit it.
Oh, yes! Yes, she crossfired it.
That got flipped a little bit. It's on a very wide line.
Yes, please.
Nah, she'll make contact. That stone's gonna make contact. Pretty much gonna be a nose.
I can hit, I can't draw. Quick off. It's all of you.
Draw two and you hit.
Very nice. Great shot.
Laura is asking Doug to do a hit and roll on that stone that just was put up in the top 12. Unfortunately, it appears that it was flipped a little bit to the inside, and it just went right through the house. Team Baggett from Long Island, currently sitting up 6-1 with the only stone in play. Honestly, the other stone in the house. Honestly, there's only 3 stones in play, and they're all yellow-handed right now. Team Hewers starting to get their backs up against the wall. She's got to figure out a way to get back in this game quick, or this could get painful. So we're getting ready to throw the hammer over on sheet A. There's an awful lot of stones in play. I have to be honest with you, I have no earthly clue what's going on over there because I can't see well enough to tell what's going on down there.
What are you waiting? Yes, for line! Yes, for line!
Yeah, we're gonna end up behind it.
Walter asking his second Allison to just throw another stone, put another guard up, and that's exactly what she did. She's got to be feeling pretty good. Okay, the hammer on A is on the way. It came with an exceptionally high rate of speed. Sweepers got right on it. I don't know what they're trying to do, but whatever it is, it's going to be hard. And unfortunately, it went right through the hole. Stone missed everything. I'm not even sure that was possible to miss everything going through there like that. Judging from the fact that it looks like Connor's getting ready to shoot. Connor must have stolen at least one. There they go. Yep, Connor stole another one on sheet A to go up 4-1 after 5. Gave up one in the first end and has taken one in each of the following 4 ends. Mulvey 4, Pedrias 1.
Whatever you think, guys. Yes, he's right. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Diving. Big way on the roll.
That's fine. That's fine. Just let it go.
That works.
Laura Hewer asking Stacy Slett to put a successful draw into the house. Got a hit. She hit one of the guards up front. Replaced the yellow guard with the red guard. Walter Baggett looking to split the house with a draw over to the left-hand side.
Yes.
We have finished the 6th end over on sheet C, but they have not hung a score yet, so I don't know what happened.
No, up. I want it to bend a little more.
There we go, they're hanging it now.
Nothing.
I should have known. It was an even end, therefore red scores 1 to bring it to 3-3. That's so far over on sheet C, between Kusid in yellow and Rubia in red, the team with the hammer has gotten 1 every single end. It's tied at 3.
Yes. Yeah, man.
So Walter Baggett is sitting with 2 in the house as we move to the final vice stone from Laura Hewer's vice, Stacy Slett. Laura basically asked for a hit and roll. She's gonna get the hit. Yes, got the hit. A little bit rolled the outside, but Team Baggett is still lying the one. And as expected, he's just gonna go hit that stone out. It's pretty obvious at this point, Walter's strategy is just hit anything that's red. Which when you're up 5 after 5 is a very viable strategy.
The same shot. You're right, yeah.
He flipped to the outside. I'm not sure he's going to get that yet. I think he's going to go past it on the outside. Sweepers are definitely not touching it, and yep, he slides past on the outside. Goes through the house. That might be the break that Laura needed to get back in this game. If she can do something with it. Stacy's trying to talk her into considering the raise. It's pretty much there. It's a straight tap back raise. That would leave her lying 2. Down 5. She pretty much needs to do something with it right here.
Yes.
Great shot. Good job, Patty.
Wait only.
Yes.
are calling the hit for the Rays. He's not going to get over enough. He's just going to peel the guard. Just peel the guard. That's all it did. Now, that does make the stone very exposed. Walter Baggett sitting one, but it's wide open. Pretty sure that they're calling. I think he's actually looking to freeze to it. On the logic that it'd be very hard to take both of them out with a tight freeze. And, you know, it's a legit logic. Right on it, as though they think it's light. I got to agree with them, but that's what they called. And unfortunately, moved from the left to the right. It's a strong cut because that's the ice been doing that all game. That stone guards nothing. Again, this could be the break Laura needed to get back in the game if she can get this hit, particularly if she can stick around. Because if she can hit and stick, she gets two, and this game gets a lot more interesting at 6-3 with only 2 ends to play. She flipped it out. I don't think at this weight that's going to come back enough. It's starting to come. Is it going to get there? No. Slides by on the outside. Walter Baggett steals another one to go up 7-1 after 6. Walter continuing to keep the hammer on, calling for a center guard. Comes off the center line a little bit, but it's a guard guarding edge 4 on our right hand side. For a corner guard with their first stone. It is in play. Is in place.
Trying to draw through here. Yes, please. Yes, please.
Great shot, Mike.
Yes. Goodbye.
Game on sheet C is moving very quickly, particularly for as tight a fought game as this one is, because it's tied at 3 after 6 ends, and they're already in Skips Rocks in the 7th.
You only got to get to like here.
Curtis Brooks throwing his second stone. Laura asked him to draw around the cover. And looks like he's going to chip the guard. Yep, he chipped the guard. Does, in fact, raise it. Not quite into the house. Just puts it behind the guard.
Let's make this disappear, Nicole. Allison, whatever, whoever.
Nothing in the house after 2.
Make it go away.
And Walter continuing to play the make it go away strategy. Oh! Man down on sheet A. No damage. Okay, everything's okay. He didn't even hit the stone. Well played. Well done. Nice dive.
Fine. Yes.
And
Yes,
they
please.
didn't make that shot. Unfortunately, they didn't make the shot. But
Okay, up.
looks like nobody's hurt. Everything's okay. Oh, just missed the hit. That may be the first mistake Walter's team's made all game. Goes through the house on the inside. They have a set of 4 guards up top. An empty house as Doug Andrews prepares to throw his first stone.
Be safe, I pretend like they are.
Taps the guard. Now we have 5 guards in front of the house. 6 stones have been thrown. 5 guards.
Well, let's get rid of some of these red rocks. Come along.
Can't tell.
They really get on.
I think it's yellow, but I'm not.
Walter asking Allison Pyatt to just get rid of something red.
Looks good to me. Yes, please. Okay, up.
That should get rid of something red, possibly 2 something reds.
Come on. This time we will get
Nah, just gonna get that top one. Cleanly picks that out. Rolls over to the right-hand side. All he's really asking his team to do at this point is if it's red, it's dead. Take it out of the house. He's up by 7. I'm sorry, he's up by 6. 2 ends to play. Defensive game is very definitely in order. On sheet A, as we're in the skip stones
disappear.
in the 6th end. Yellow is actually looking to they have a very healthy situation right now. They have the first 2 shots, although they're in a position where it looks like Connor Mulvey's going to try the double to take them both out. He's up 4-1 after 5.
Yeah. Wonderful. Another problem solved.
Nice nose hit takeout, raises out yet another red rock. We still have 4 stones in front, 3 yellow, 1 red, all basically in kind of a line from our right to our left, about 3 feet in front of the house. Stacy Slett starting to run out of stones here. Laura Hewer is asking her to drive in behind it. Drive behind it, rather.
All the way. Hard. Hard. Keep going. Hard. Hard. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
And that draw is too heavy. Goes through. Doug Andrews tries to be cute, but yeah. And now it looks like Walter's asking his vice, Michael, to do his own draw in. And wow, Connor Mulvey just managed to take out that double. Before a minute ago, I was saying that yellow was looking really strong. Yeah, not so much anymore. Connor is now sitting 2 as yellow's preparing to throw their hammer in the 6th. Now, he does have a situation where if he gets the hit, he could potentially make a 4 out of it. He's looking at the angles. Meanwhile, over in our feature game, Walter has a stone draw to the top 12. Wide open exposed. Laura Hewer asks Stacy with her second vice stone at this end. To hit that and hopefully roll behind cover. We've got a measurement going on sheet C. Probably for 1 because that's how that whole game is gone, but we'll find out. Stacy's got the hit and doesn't quite roll over. It's 3/4 exposed. And I'm sure Walter's saying, yeah, I'll hit that. All right, this could be the shot of the game over on sheet A. Team Boudreaux already down 4-1. After 5, preparing to throw their hammer here in the 6th, facing 2 stones by Connor Mulvey, one in the just at the top of the button, and one in the back of the 8-foot. If they can get both of those out, however, Boudreaux has 2 destiny onto the 12. He could conceivably get a 3 here and tie this thing up. Whoa! On sheet B, Walter is going for his take and makes the contact, strong enough to take it out. Yep, clears that house. Over here on A, they're shooting it hard. The sweepers are on it. They're happy with the line, I think. And they've got the first part, doesn't take it all the way out. Yellow just gets the 1. So after 6, Mulvey is up 4-2. Meanwhile, over on sheet C, the 7th end, the measurement's over. I believe they may have finally broken the pattern. I think red scored. But it was only 1. So after 7, it's 4-3. Karubia over Kusin as they're coming home in the 8th. That has been a very nip and tuck game the whole way through. Laura Hewer throwing her first stone, looking to draw into the house. Feels like a good weight to me. It looks good. No, it's deep. It's past the tee, back 8, back 12. Behind the cover, though.
Sorry, don't let it in.
Behind the cover. Walter's basically looking to draw to the freeze on it, and he just gets shown the way. shown the way if he can pull his draw off. And honestly, up by 6, he's probably okay even if Stacy takes that 1. He just wants to guard against a really big number from her. She can't get this point. What she gets too. Feels a little wide. Unless that starts cutting, I don't think it's going to do what he wants it to do. It's not going to. What is that stone doing? Here it comes. How deep? He just guarded. That just turns into a guard. It's technically biting the top 12, but it's not. If she makes if Laura Hewer makes house at all, she's got this. Doesn't. So she needs to get 2 here to get back in the game. Even a 2 would leave her a hard road to climb at the 8th end, but it'd make it more possible. She gets ready to throw her. Laura's getting ready to throw her hammer. She knows for sure she's got 1, unless something goes really badly wrong here. She's basically trying to draw to the open house for 2. Unfortunately, she has been struggling with her draw weight all game. So there's no guarantee here. A very wide line, because all she has to do is bite paint, and she's in. It's a very wide line, though. The ace gets kind of slow out there. The sweepers had to get on it. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, they came up. It's there. Is it through? No, it holds at fullback 12. Laura Hewer draws, takes her 2. She's down now 7-3. She's still down 4, and she just gave Walter Baggett the hammer in the 8th. And final end.
Take this out and roll behind these guards, okay? I'll just strike it.
So we're here in the 8th end now, getting ready to throw the first stones. Walter Baggett from the Long Island Curling Club, very much in command. Up by 4 with hammer. Basically, he's just in a mode where he needs to get rid of a few red stones and he'll win this game. Situation on sheet C. Karubia is ahead of Cusid 4-3. Karubia currently has what looks like the 1-2, and it's very early in the end yet. They're fighting over the center of the house right now. Over on sheet A, Connor Mulvey is up 4-2 after 6. They're still throwing the 7th end. They still have several throw stones to go in the 7th end. Walter just said, throw that through the house, and it is just that, through the house. Fighting, hoping beyond hope to take 4. There hasn't been a 4 thrown this entire round, actually. Lots of 1s and 2s. Lots of 1s, mostly. Honestly, this is the only game that's even got 2. She taps one in. She has 1 half guard, and yep, Walter, as expected, is just saying, take that out.
A guard or fighter, no deeper.
And for those of you who have been listening to the whole game wondering why I haven't given you any updates from Sheet D, there was no game on Sheet D this draw.
It's gotta come up.
There was a forfeit. Corin is advancing to the next round by forfeit. Team had some problems, had some issues, had to withdraw. Walter gets the takeout from his lead, Nicole Milea.
Bring it around. Turn your head.
Draw. Eli.
Doug Andrews, first stone, coming in. They're looking to take out. Unfortunately, all they did was clip out their own guard and remove stone from play. They've now only got 5 red stones remaining. They have to score 4 points. For those of you that are a little weaker in math, that's what we refer to as a bad situation. And Walter Baguette is saying, yeah, I'm not going to make your life any easier. Just throw this through the house. Honestly, he might peel his own scoring stone out. I don't think he wanted to do that, but I don't think it's going to upset him too much. That wasn't what he had in mind, but I'm pretty sure really that's not going to upset him because that leaves absolutely no place for Laura Hewer to hide. And she has to get 4 points out of 5 stones. There's going to have to be an awful lot of luck on her part to be able to pull this game out at this point.
Yes. Yes!
Doug Andrews throwing his stone. His last shot of the game.
Very good, Mike.
Barring an extra end. That's full 12. Nope, actually it bites the 8. And Walter immediately tells Allison to just take that out.
Yes, please.
Stone's on the way. I don't even think he cares what happens to the shooter as long as contact is made. That contact will be made, no question. There's the hit. Laura Hewer is now sitting down for 4 stones to play. Nothing to hide behind. She's doing what she has to do. She's calling a freeze to that stone that Allison just didn't quite clear out of the house. It's sitting over in the right-hand side of the 12-foot. It's all she can do. All she's got is to freeze to that. This is she's basically trying to throw 4 Hail Marys in a row and hoping that they all land. It's not likely. It's possible, but it's not likely. Stacy Slett throwing her first stone at the end. This has to be in play, and it pretty much has to be a scoring stone, or else this game is over. And I'm going to be honest, that looks light. I'm not even sure that's past the hog. It's past the hog, but it's not making the house. Sweepers are giving it everything they've got. Now it ends up a good 10 feet short, or 5 feet short of the house. They're out of stones. Yeah, that's the game. Laura Hewer concedes. She's out of stones. So the final score in that game, 6-3. I'm sorry, 7-3. Walter Baguette's team from Long Island over Laura Hewer from Potomac. Laura Hewer's team is done for the tournament. Walter Baguette moves on to play at, I believe it's 10:15 this evening in a B-event quarterfinal. So,
Well, let's try to
we do still have action going on A and C. on that as we go through here. The game on sheet C is actually in its skip stones in the 8th end.
Left rib. Looks like it's not on. Let it come over. Let it come over. Let it curl. Let it curl. Flip, flip.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I was wrong. Oh, yeah.
Huh?
Want to say goodnight or?
Well, let's catch the end of the All right, so we're going to move over here and see if we can slew over and catch the end of the game on either on sheet C. As you can see, they're pretty deep into the end. Current score is 4-3 with Karubia ahead of Cusid. Karubia is in red, Cusid is in yellow. And there's a yellow shot stone currently biting the forefoot on the edge of the forefoot on our left as we're looking at it. There's also
We can keep this so we can guard
the
it.
second stone is
I
a
say
red
guard it.
stone in the top 8
What do you think?
on the right-hand side of the house. There's a yellow and a red frozen on the center line in the back. That yellow is currently third. That could matter, but that could matter later on.
That's
We've
what I
only
need.
got 3 stones left in this
I
game.
like it. That's good. That's good. It's gonna go. No problem, mate. Down, wait.
Houston throwing her first skip stone.
Keep going.
Looking to take out that red, I'm sure.
Keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
Promoted it to the back of the forefoot. Couldn't have been what she had in mind. We're getting ready to throw our skip stones here.
Simple. Wide open paper.
We're also in the skip stones in the 7th end over on sheet A. They're actually about an end behind. Mulvey is up 4-2, getting ready to throw. He has the hammer here in the 7th. And it looks like he's got the 1, 2, and 3 shot stones right now. So he's trying to look to figure out a way to improve that position. There's Karubia's last stone of the 8th end. He's looking to guard. He's up 1, so if he can get the steal of 1, he wins the game. He's just looking to guard. He's looking to leave it as a very high guard. They're leaving a very high guard. So we're down to the final rock here over on sheet C. Right now, Karubia is sitting in a very powerful situation. His shot stone in the back of the 4 is guarded, is well guarded, but there is room for a draw.
I don't think you can do it.
This draw will just tie, but really that's enough. Stones on the way. Sweepers are on it hard.
No. Keep sweeping.
Sweepers are on it hard, slowing down. Is it going to get there? Is it going to get there? Does it have enough distance? It's in the house. No. Top 8. So Karubia steals the one to break this game wide open and win it 5-3. Very tightly fought game. No more than 1 point in any end. That was an incredibly tight fought game. So Karubia will be moving on to play at 10:15 this evening, and CUSID is done with Cherry Blossom Bonspiel. Over on sheet A, Mulvey put a guard up as we expected, and Budraeus tried to pull through the hole, get the three, or knock into three, get one, but it looks to me as though Connor Mulvey may have just stolen three, which would probably put that game, which would probably make that game all but over. Yep, there's the concession on sheet A. Budraeus concedes to Mulvey, who won. I believe the final score on that is 7-2. I'm not 100% certain, but I believe he stole three. So that wraps up our action here in the 12th draw. We'll be back in a little bit with the next draw. So see you in a few minutes. Thank you and have a good evening.